Discover 7 heartwarming autumn stories transforming kids' sleep into incredible dreams. As autumn swept through Maplewood, the town wore its vibrant colors like a quilt, each leaf a reminder of the magic that fills the air. Sam, an 11-year-old with bright eyes and a heart to match, felt the stirrings of change. Despite his family's humble lifestyle, love wrapped around them like a snug blanket. His parents toiled day and night, but their laughter lingered in the air, a melody of support that rang true in their modest home. However, that beautiful autumn brought an unexpected chill news that threatened the warmth of their beloved Maplewood bakery. The bakery wasn't just a place for warm pies and sweet treats, it was the community's heartbeat. When Sam learned that the bakery was struggling, anxiety tightened in his chest like a vice. This wasn't just about spicing up family dinners with fresh apple pie, it was Mia's family facing unemployment, it was the town losing a gathering space. Sam felt an urgent need to protect the bonds of his community. On a crisp Saturday morning, heart racing, he called for a gathering in the park. "We need to save the bakery," he exclaimed, determination pumping through his veins like adrenaline. As his friends joined him, every face told a story, kids from different backgrounds, united by the worry and hope that swirled around them. They brainstormed everything: bake sales, concerts, car washes, but soon the reality set in. The problem was bigger than just a lack of funds. Feeling the weight of the moment, Sam spoke up, his voice rising above the murmurs. "We need everyone. We can't just stick with our own little groups." Silence hung in the air as they looked at him, disbelief and inspiration sweeping through the circle. Eyes glistened with unshed tears, laughter bubbled over fears, and in that instant, they formed a pact, a promise to reach out, to join arms beyond their divisions. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The next obstacle loomed as the town meeting approached. Sam's heart thudded in his chest as he stood before Mr. Thompson, the bakery's wealthy owner, with a reputation as hard as stone. The tension was palpable, a thick fog of resentment swirling in the room. Sam hesitated, recalling tales from his parents about Mr. Thompson's boyhood in Maplewood. That connection sparked something deep. He realized he wasn't just fighting for a bakery, but for understanding and hope. As the festival planning unfolded, Sam's resolve ignited the community's spirit. They pooled their talents, creating a joyful tapestry of music, food, and laughter, but uncertainty loomed like the weight of the chill in the air. Would Mr. Thompson's past experiences help him to reconsider? With the festival's lights flickering to life in the gathering dusk, Sam was left standing at a crossroads, questioning whether courage and hope could truly bridge the divides of their reality. With anticipation wrapped around his heart like a delicate autumn whisper, Sam knew one thing for sure: the stakes were high, and the soul of Maplewood hung in the balance. Could one small boy change the heart of a town so fractured? The festival day arrived, draped in warm sunlight and crisp air. Sam stood at the entrance of the park, his chest swelling with both excitement and nerves. Strings of colorful lights swayed gently above him, casting playful shadows as families began to gather. There were booths filled with crafts, towering hay bales for climbing, and the sweet scent of caramel apples wafting through the air, mingling with the laughter of children. His friends were buzzing with energy, setting up the bake sale table. Sam spotted Mia, her bright smile cutting through his worries like a ray of sunshine. "We've made lots of pies, Sam. The whole town's coming," she exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. But amid the cheer, a nagging fear whispered in the back of Sam's mind, what if it wasn't enough? What if all their efforts fell flat before Mr. Thompson's steadfast indifference? The thought alone made his stomach twist. Soon, Mr. Thompson arrived, an imposing figure wearing a heavy coat that seemed to shield him from more than just the autumn chill. Sam's heart raced as the adults around him greeted him with subtle nods. He observed Mr. Thompson basking in the praises of others, but his own smile remained stoic, distant. This was the moment, the opportunity to reach out, to connect. "Hey!" Sam called boldly, striding over as his heart thudded louder. "Thanks for coming, Mr. Thompson." He saw the older man glance at him, surprised. "We've worked really hard to show how much the bakery means to all of us." Mr. Thompson raised an eyebrow, folding his arms across his chest. "You think sweet pies and songs can save a business?" It was a challenge, and the doubt draped over Sam like a heavy blanket. But then something homely lit inside him, the warmth of familiar laughter, the scent of freshly baked bread, the memories of gathering in the bakery. "It's not just about the bakery," he replied earnestly, his voice steady. "It's about the people. This place brings us all together. It's where we share our stories, our dreams, it's where friendships grow. And we need your help to keep it alive." Sam could feel the eyes of his friends watching, the weight of their support fueling him. He took a breath, hoping for an opening. "We understand the bakery is struggling, but if we come together, if you give us a chance, we can show you what it really means to the town." There was a long pause. Sam saw Mr. Thompson studying him, the distant glimmer of memories in his eyes. Just as hope flickered, a sudden wind passed by, rustling the leaves and creating an almost electric atmosphere. "I don't know, kid," Mr. Thompson finally replied, his tone softer but no less skeptical. "It'll take more than words to change reality." Just then, a nearby booth erupted in laughter. A group of kids tossed colorful balloons into the air, and for a moment, the seriousness of the moment faded. Sam watched as the balloons danced against the blue sky, feeling the same stir of camaraderie he had felt when he proposed their plan. "Believe me, Mr. Thompson," Sam said, voice rising above the commotion, "if we all work together, we can make an incredible difference." He saw a flicker of something in Mr. Thompson's face, a memory perhaps, or a hint of curiosity. But before Sam could discern it, a loud cheer erupted from the crowd. The festival was in full swing, music echoed around, and the first batch of pies were served to eager hands. As Sam stepped back to join his friends, a wave of hope washed over him. The roots of their efforts were starting to dig in. But doubt lingered like a cloud overhead. Would Mr. Thompson truly stand with them? Just then, a little boy tugged at Sam's shirt, eyes wide. "Are we going to win this, Sam? Are we going to save the bakery?" Sam knelt down and smiled as confidence swelled in his chest. "We're going to give it everything we've got." But deep down, he couldn't shake the feeling that deeper challenges lay ahead. Could the warmth of a community truly thaw a man set in his resolve, and would he be able to convince Mr. Thompson before it was too late? As the festival unfolded around him, the sounds of laughter and the sweet smell of baked goods felt like a warm embrace. Sam could see the joy in the faces of the townspeople, and despite his lingering doubt about Mr. Thompson, a flicker of optimism ignited within him. Perhaps today was the day. Today could be the turning point for the bakery. His friends gathered at the bake sale table, hands sticky with frosting and pie crust. Mia waved him over. "Look at this. We made lavender lemonade too." Her eyes sparkled as she poured a cup, and Sam couldn't help but smile. The laughter of children and the clatter of games enveloped them, a perfect backdrop for their cause. "Sam!" came a voice from the crowd. It was Jennifer, another classmate, waving frantically. "We need you for the pie-eating contest." "Right now?" Sam hesitated, glancing back at Mr. Thompson, who stood to the side, surveying the festival with a hint of skepticism still lingering on his features. Should they draw attention to the bakery, or keep trying to win him over quietly? "Right now. Come on." Jennifer grabbed his arm, pulling him into the throng of excited participants. Sam found himself standing at a long table, a plate of pie in front of him and laughter surrounding him. "Do it for the bakery!" shouted Mia from the sidelines, her voice full of encouragement. As the contest began, Sam shoved spoonfuls of pie into his mouth, laughter erupting from the crowd with each ridiculous bite. For a moment, all his worries vanished. He felt a part of something big, a united front of friends, family, and community ready to fight for their bakery's future. It was the spirit of collaboration he cherished, the very essence of what he believed made the bakery important. With pie smeared on his face, Sam swiped his hand over his mouth, wiping away the whipped cream, and laughed. "And this, folks, is what we call motivation." Cheers erupted, and even Mr. Thompson's stern demeanor cracked a little. Sam caught a glimpse of the older man shaking his head with amusement. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental. As the contest wrapped up, a victorious Sam took a moment to bask in the pride of his effort. Maybe there was hope yet. He spotted Mr. Thompson again, who appeared to be chatting quietly with some of the older residents. Gathering his resolve, Sam moved closer, his heart racing. This time, he wouldn't let fear paralyze him. "Mr. Thompson!" Sam called, feeling the weight of the crowd's eyes on him. "Would you join us for a piece of pie? It's from the bakery." He gestured to the table where a freshly baked apple pie sat, steam curling from its crust. Mr. Thompson turned slowly, the hint of a smirk forming on his lips. "What's so special about this pie?" Sam could feel the tension in his neck tighten. "It's not just about the pie. It's about what it represents. Each bite connects us, memories, laughter. It's the heart of this town." Just then, as if on cue, a chorus of laughter bubbled up from kids racing toward the apple pie, their eyes excited. The warmth and belonging flooded Sam with strength. A small child chimed in, "Mr. Thompson, you have to try it. It's the best." For a split second, everything hung in the air: hope, fear, possibility. Would Mr. Thompson take that leap, or would he reserve the bakery's fate for another day? Sam's heart thumped loudly in his chest as he watched the man's expression shift. As he opened his mouth, the crowd held its breath, awaiting his response. But just then, the loud crack of a balloon popping echoed through the park, yanking everyone's attention away. Anxiety twisted in Sam's stomach. What had just transpired might hinge on this very moment. Would Mr. Thompson step forward, or would he retreat into the shadows again? The moment expanded, stretched taut like the thin skin of the balloon that had just burst. Sam felt time freeze, drawing in a shallow breath as the excitement of the festival morphed into a collective hush. Countless faces turned toward Mr. Thompson, waiting, needing him to respond. Mr. Thompson blinked, his expression a mix of surprise and contemplation. The laughter of the children faded into the background. All that existed was this moment. Sam felt his heart thumping painfully in his chest, not just for himself, but for every person who believed in the bakery and its power to unite them all. "Why don't you tell me about it?" Mr. Thompson finally spoke, his voice steady yet curious, a surprising softness threading through his usual gruff tone. At that moment, Sam felt a rush of hope surge through him, igniting the courage he'd clung to all day. "It's about so much more than just bread and pastries," Sam began, feeling the warmth of the townspeople's shared energy pushing him forward. "It's Sunday afternoons filled with stories over coffee, it's birthdays celebrated with cakes baked from family recipes, it's the kids in the park who dream big, coming back to us for special treats. This bakery is our heart." Jennifer and Mia exchanged glances, their encouragement visible in their bright smiles and eager nods. Others in the crowd began to echo their sentiments, murmurs of agreement filtering through. The connection between the bakery and the town felt more palpable than ever. Even Mr. Thompson seemed to soften further, his guarded demeanor beginning to crack. "But it's not just about warmth and nostalgia, is it? You have to make this a business that thrives," he replied, crossing his arms. Sam glanced over at his friends, then back to Mr. Thompson, sensing a rare opportunity to bridge the divide between tradition and modernization. "We know we can do that. We've been brainstorming ways to introduce new offerings, seasonal goodies, local partnerships, events that bring everyone together. We just need your support to get started." For a moment, Mr. Thompson studied him closely. Sam felt exposed under that scrutinizing gaze. What if he rejected them outright? What if he smiled and walked away, leaving them looking foolish? The crowd held its breath, and Sam squeezed the edge of the table, feeling the reassuring warmth of the apple pie beneath his fingers. It was a tangible reminder of everything they had worked for. Finally, the corners of Mr. Thompson's mouth turned up slightly, almost imperceptibly. "Look, if you can show me their essay plan, if you can convince me the bakery can evolve without losing its spirit, I might be willing to help you." Cheers erupted, the sound bursting from the crowd like fireworks. Sam could feel the buoyancy of hope washing over him, but in the back of his mind, a question lingered: did they truly have what it took to navigate that path? As the celebrations swelled around him, he exchanged excited glances with his friends. They had a challenge ahead, but they were ready for it. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, he spoke again, determination etched in his voice. "Then we'll get to work, Mr. Thompson." A handshake was sealed, an unspoken agreement between them as the festival burst back to life with laughter and shouts. But just as Sam turned to his friends, eager to start planning, a loud crash echoed from the direction of the food stands. It sounded like something had broken. The joyous atmosphere shifted, tension creeping in as all heads turned toward the source of the commotion. What had gone wrong now? Just as they were tasting victory, something was bound to disrupt their hard-earned moment of hope. Would it be a setback or a chance to rally even stronger? The sound of splintering wood echoed through the air like an alarm bell, sharp and piercing. Sam turned, his heart pounding in his chest as he spotted a commotion near the food stands. A few people rushed toward the scene, their faces painted with confusion and concern. The weight of the festival's joy hung in the balance, now shadowed by uncertainty. He exchanged worried glances with Jennifer and Mia. "Let's check it out," he urged, taking a step towards the chaos. The trio moved as one, weaving through the tightly packed crowd who had begun to murmur anxiously. As they neared the scene, their breath caught. A stack of wooden crates had toppled over, sending plates of delicious food scattering across the asphalt like fallen soldiers. A young boy, perhaps 8, stood frozen by the debris. Tears glistened in his eyes as he clutched his untouched hot dog in one hand. Panic washed through Sam. This was not just a mess, it was a child's disappointment made visible. "Oh no," Mia said softly, her expression filled with empathy. "What do we do?" Jennifer asked, her brows knitted together. "First, we help," Sam replied, his voice steady. He stepped forward, kneeling beside the boy. "Hey there, buddy. What happened?" The boy looked up, his bottom lip quivering. "I just wanted to eat." Sam offered a gentle smile. "I get it. It's tough when something goes wrong. How about we make it better, okay?" He scanned the scene, spotting an older vendor approaching, clearly flustered. "Let us see if he can get you a new hot dog." The vendor's frown shifted as he saw Sam helping the boy. "Of course. Here, I can get you another one in no time," the vendor said, fatigue giving way to warmth as he crouched down. Just then, the crowd began to stir. It was infectious, the way their worries shifted to support. Sam felt it wash over him, a wave of collective compassion. Hands reached in to help clear the mess, to restore the spirit of the festival. As the boy received his new hot dog, his face transformed. A shy smile broke the surface of his worry, and he clutched the food like it was a treasure. Sam felt the tension within him ease. "What we just did," he said, looking at his friends, "that's what the bakery means to this town. We're more than just bakers. We're a community." Jennifer smiled, a light of understanding shining in her eyes. "You're right, Sam. This is our chance to show Mr. Thompson that we can do more than just sell pastries." Mia nodded enthusiastically. "We need to make the bakery a welcoming place for everyone, a place where no one feels alone." Encouraged by their shared conviction, they returned to the heart of the festival, their minds bubbling with ideas. They could create events, gatherings that brought people together, where challenges like the one they had just faced could be transformed into moments of unity. But as they planned, Sam couldn't shake the feeling that while they were building something good, they also had to brace for the obstacles that would come. Mr. Thompson's challenge loomed over them, but now it felt different. It could be an opportunity, their chance to prove that they could evolve while holding on to the spirit that made their bakery special. Yet just as the excitement surged within him, a dark uncertainty flickered at the edge of his thoughts. Would they truly be able to convince him? As they rushed to gather ideas, he felt that familiar flutter of unease mixed with hope. What if the way forward was filled with unexpected twists? Suddenly, a loud shout pierced through the noise of celebration, drawing their attention back to the stands. It was Mr. Thompson, and he didn't look pleased. What could possibly happen now? Sam whispered to his friends, dread pooling in the pit of his stomach. Their resolve would soon be tested in ways they never expected. Would they rise to the occasion, or would this new challenge shatter everything they had hoped to build? The sharpness of Mr. Thompson's voice cut through the joyful atmosphere like a knife. Sam's heart raced as he watched the older man stride toward them, his expression a mix of annoyance and disbelief. It was as if the weight of the entire festival had landed squarely on his shoulders. "Look at this mess!" Mr. Thompson exclaimed, gesturing grandly at the toppled crates. The crowd shifted, unsure, caught between wanting to enjoy the festivities and being pulled into this unsettling moment. Sam felt a chill run through him. It wasn't just about the crates, it was about how fragile their plans seemed under Mr. Thompson's gaze. The vendor who had helped the boy moved hesitantly, avoiding confrontation, while Sam stood frozen, uncertainty tinged with dread. "Sir," Jennifer stepped forward bravely, her voice strong despite the tension. "We were just what?" Mr. Thompson interrupted, his voice booming over the chatter of the crowd. "Fixing a problem? This isn't the way to run a bakery. We need to be professional. Not clumsily trying to clean up a disaster in front of everyone." Mia shivered a little at the harshness of his words. Sam felt a weight settle in his chest. They had wanted to show Mr. Thompson they could make a difference, not provide him with more reasons to criticize them. "But look," Sam said, stepping out beside Jennifer, desperate to lighten the mood, "this could be a chance for us. We showed that sometimes a little kindness can turn things around." That boy's face lit up when he got a new hot dog, didn't it? "Sure, but at what cost?" Mr. Thompson scoffed, crossing his arms. "You're too young to understand. Festivals are great for business, but chaos drives customers away." The crowd had fallen silent, but Sam caught a few approving nods from bystanders. He wanted to argue, to show Mr. Thompson that they were more than what he perceived. The bakery was a community space, it thrived on connections, not just sales. But how to explain that? "Mr. Thompson," Mia chimed in, her small voice barely above a whisper, "we believe we can turn things around. If we create more events, more spaces for people to gather, we can change the way they feel about our bakery. Isn't that worth trying?" Mr. Thompson's eyes narrowed slightly as he considered her words. For a moment, Sam thought he might relent, might see their vision. Just then, the young boy from before approached, his hot dog gripped tightly in both hands. He looked up at Mr. Thompson, his small voice steady. "Sir, it was really nice what they did. They helped me when I was sad. They made me feel better." A ghost of a smile flickered across Mr. Thompson's face, but it disappeared as quickly as it came. One incident doesn't justify changing everything. You need a plan, and you need to stick to it. Sam took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of potential in the air. "Maybe we can show you our plan?" he offered, already imagining how the bakery could transform with their ideas, how it could breathe life back into the town. Mr. Thompson's gaze held them for a long moment, weighing their determination. The tension was almost unbearable. Sam kept his eyes locked on him, refusing to back down, needing him to understand. Finally, the older man sighed deeply. "All right, let us hear it, then. But if this doesn't work out as you hope, well, you'll have some big explaining to do." It was their chance, their tiny glimmer of hope breaking through like sunlight after a storm. As Sam exchanged glances with Jennifer and Mia, adrenaline rushed through him. They had to give their best. But even with that small victory, a shadow of worry remained in the back of Sam's mind. What if Mr. Thompson didn't truly believe in their vision? What if the crowd's support faded, and they couldn't bring the community together like they intended? Just as he started to outline their ideas, another shout rang out, one filled with urgency. "Look out! It's happening again!" In that moment, Sam knew whatever was coming would test not just their plans but their very bond as a team. Would they be able to rise above the chaos for good this time? The shout caused the crowd to part like water, revealing a whirlwind of rapidly rolling barrels that had escaped from another vendor's stall. Panic surged through the festival as people scrambled for safety, veering to either side. Sam's thoughts raced. This wasn't just another moment they had to manage, it felt like the festival itself was hanging by a thread. "Everyone, stay calm," Mr. Thompson called out, his voice surprisingly steady as he moved toward the chaos. The sight of him, usually so stern, showing this level of authority sent a ripple of reassurance through the crowd. Sam felt a familiar flicker of admiration. Maybe there was more to Mr. Thompson than just the stern exterior. But the rolling barrels were gaining speed, and as one barreled into a food stand, an eruption of popcorn and splattered soda filled the air. Laughter and gasps mixed together, amplifying the urgency of the moment. Sam turned to Jennifer and Mia, who wore expressions of disbelief and fear. What were they supposed to do? As younger members of the bakery team, sputtering out ideas in the midst of chaos seemed daunting. But then something clicked in Sam. "We need to redirect the crowd," he shouted, his voice rising above the din. "If we can get them to move together away from here, we can contain this." Jennifer nodded, and Mia immediately jumped into action, her instincts kicking in. "Let us get everyone to follow us to the main tent," she yelled, and she was already waving her hands to gather attention. As Jennifer and Mia set to work organizing the crowd, Sam felt the adrenaline pumping through him. The jubilant atmosphere of the festival had morphed into one of urgency, but within chaos, there was also opportunity. "Follow us. We're going this way," Sam yelled, his heart racing, hope kindling in him as he moved to help his friends. The crowd, still buzzing with confusion, slowly began to turn toward them. Their camaraderie was becoming a beacon, a light in the chaos. With the crowd following their lead, Sam took a moment to glance back at Mr. Thompson. He stood tall, guiding the remaining onlookers into a safer area, his face set in a mask of determination. There was something more than annoyance in his eyes now, there was respect. Sam felt a swell of pride. This was hope working together. They led the throng toward the main tent, where flickering lights beckoned like a sanctuary. Just as they swept everyone inside safely, a loud crash echoed from behind them. One of the barrels had finally tipped, sending a cascade of popcorn everywhere. Laughter erupted among the crowd as they found themselves engulfed in the unexpected fun of the mess. Holding each other's arms, the trio of friends exchanged triumphant glances. They had managed to rally the community together in the face of chaos. Sam's heart soared. "We did it!" Mia exclaimed, her eyes wide with excitement. But even as they celebrated this small victory, they sensed that Mr. Thompson wasn't finished evaluating them. The older man stepped inside, surveying the crowd that had calmed, and began to laugh about the mishap. His expression softening, Mr. Thompson approached the trio, an idea crystallizing in his mind. "I have to admit, you handled that well," he said, nodding slowly. "Maybe there's more to your plan than I thought." With a rush of hope, Sam felt like they were standing on the verge of something big. They had proven their strength not just to Mr. Thompson but to themselves. But as they basked in that moment of triumph, another thought crept in. What could they do next to ensure the change they sought wasn't just a one-time event? Just then, a loud clatter outside beckoned their attention once more. A commotion filled with uncertainty lurked just beyond the tent. What now had gone wrong? Sam's heart raced again as he exchanged worried glances with his friends. This time, they needed to stand strong. What challenges would they face next? A sudden burst of laughter rang out, but it was undercut by a high-pitched scream, sweeping through the crowd like a shockwave. Sam felt his heart drop. What could possibly be happening now? He shared a glance with Mia and Jennifer, each of them silently questioning what lay beyond the safety of the main tent. Without hesitating, Mia darted toward the entrance, her determination evident as she took the lead. "We need to check it out," she shouted, her voice steady despite the anxiety swirling around them. Without a second thought, Sam and Jennifer followed closely behind, their feet pounding against the ground as they burst out of the tent. The sight before them was both alarming and surreal. A few kids had gathered, huddled around what appeared to be a fallen display of glittering autumn decorations that had been quickly set up for the festival. It looked beautiful, but the toppled display had birthed chaos, with colorful leaves scattering everywhere and ribbons twisting like serpents on the ground. "It fell," one child wailed, pointing to the tangle of plastic pumpkins and pine cones. A small girl with wide, teary eyes clutched a stuffed raccoon to her chest, her bottom lip trembling. Sam's heart went out to her. He could feel the worry radiating from the small group, combined with the timid laughter from others who hadn't yet grasped the crisis. There was another chance, and this time, they would need to help calm their community again. Jennifer rushed forward, kneeling beside the little girl. "Hey, it's okay. We can fix this," she said, her voice soft and reassuring. "Let us work together and put everything back up. It's just a little mess." Mia slapped Sam's back encouragingly. "Let us gather the decorations. Everyone, help us out," she exclaimed, and as if sparked by her enthusiasm, the kids flocked to them, ready to pitch in. Sam started picking up what he could, the plastic decorations awkwardly cradled in his arms. He couldn't stop smiling at the energy around him. Laughter began to replace the tension that had built moments before as the kids began tossing leaves into the air, creating a beautiful flurry of gold and crimson around them. "Look! It's raining leaves!" One boy laughed, and soon everyone was caught in the wave of joy, running about and tossing the decorations back into place as if they were having the best time of their lives. As the scene transformed, Sam looked at his friends, bright-eyed and focused, their hands full of the laughter and spirit of the celebration. Mr. Thompson watched from the sidelines, a gentle smile gracing his usually stoic features. "Now, this is teamwork," he said, tipping his hat to them as they rallied everyone into action. But just as everything seemed to be coming together again, another commotion erupted on the edge of the festival grounds, pulling Sam's focus away. They had faced chaos once, and now it seemed like the universe had more in store for them. "Not again," Sam murmured under his breath, his pulse quickening. He felt the rush of apprehension mixed with the fire of determination. What was it this time? A shift in the air signaled trouble, and Sam could see tension brewing among the visitors peeking out from behind stands. He met his friend's eyes. "Are you ready?" he asked, speaking louder than all else around him. Together, they nodded, hearts racing with the promise of what lay ahead. Whatever the challenge, they would face it as one team, stronger together than apart. With an invigorated breath, Sam took a step forward. "Let us figure this out." But just as they turned to confront the scene, he spotted a creeping shadow moving behind a nearby stand. Who or what could it be? They had already weathered the storm once today, now they were on the brink of something bigger. The shadow slunk closer, warping and twisting as it moved. Sam squinted, trying to make sense of it. With each step, his heart raced, bouncing against his ribcage like a wild drumbeat. Whatever lurked behind that stand, it didn't seem friendly. "Mia, Jennifer," he whispered, tension coiling in his belly. "What is that?" Before they could fully react, the figure emerged. It was a tall man, dressed in a dark coat, with a scraggly beard that framed a face lined with weariness. But it wasn't just the stranger's appearance that sent chills up Sam's spine, it was the way he looked around, eyes darting like a frightened animal. "Sam, we should be careful," Jennifer murmured, stepping slightly behind Mia. The man glanced in their direction, his eyes widening. "I'm not here to cause any trouble," he said, raising his hands in a show of peace. "I just need." A loud crash interrupted him. One of the festival tents had collapsed, and a wave of panic swept through the crowd. Sam felt a surge of adrenaline. This man couldn't be overlooked. Was he a part of the chaos, or just another victim caught in it? "Stay together," Mia instructed, her voice firm. They formed a tight circle, eyes still locked on the stranger, waiting for answers. "What do you need?" Sam called out, trying to keep his voice steady despite the turmoil around them. The man hesitated, brow furrowing. "I am looking for my daughter. She got lost." His voice trembled, raw with desperation. "I can't find her." The worry etched deeply on his face struck a chord in Sam's heart. "How old is she?" he asked. 7. She's got curly hair and pink boots," he said, his voice breaking. "I can't lose her. She was just here." Taking a deep breath, Sam felt a swell of determination. "All right," he said, glancing at Mia and Jennifer, who were now tightening their grip on each other's hands. "Let us find her. Together." Without waiting for a response, he stepped forward. "Let us spread out. We can cover more ground." "Okay, but..." Jennifer started, her brows knitted in concern. "No, it's fine," he replied, a sense of urgency creeping into his tone. "What if she is scared and alone? Think about her." Mia nodded, the fiery light in her eyes returning. "We'll split up. We'll find her. We got this." The stranger seemed taken aback, yet grateful. "Thank you." "I can't thank you enough," he said, looking each of them in the eye, his voice full of hope. They took off in different directions, a tight knot of determination binding them. They dodged festival-goers who were still reeling from the commotion, calling out for the girl with each breath. Sam's mind raced, he could hardly process the urgency of the moment. Hastily, he scanned the playground nearby, heart hammering louder than before. "Where are you?" he whispered, his voice a prayer. Suddenly, he spotted a small figure hiding behind a pumpkin stand. Sam rushed over, nearly tripping over his own feet. "Hey!" he called out, fear lacing his tone. "Are you okay?" The girl looked up, her big brown eyes shimmering with confusion and tears. In the midst of the chaos, she seemed so small. "Daddy?" she whimpered, reaching out. In that moment, Sam's world shrank down to just her. He knelt beside her, breathing hard. "Your dad is looking for you. We're going to help you find him." But even as he spoke, a loud cheer erupted from the festival, a strange mix of joy and surprise that echoed ominously. The tension hadn't lessened, it had simply taken on another form, drawing him deeper into an even greater uncertainty. "Stay close," Sam urged, pulling the girl to her feet. As they turned to retrace their steps, he couldn't shake the feeling that something more was about to happen, a new wave of fear, or perhaps an unexpected revelation. What lay ahead could change everything. But just before they could reach the gathering crowd again, a shadow darted in front of them. Sam's breath caught in his throat. "What now?" Before he could react, the shadow morphed into a familiar figure, darting through the chaos like a beacon of light. "Sam!" Mia's voice rang out, relief evident in her tone. She rushed towards him, her expression a mix of excitement and concern. "We found her." The little girl's eyes lit up at the sight of Mia. "Mia!" she squealed, and Sam released a breath he hadn't realized he had been holding. Mia quickly led them back to the gathering crowd, where the man of father within the midst of so much uncertainty stood scanning the chaotic scene. When he caught sight of his daughter's familiar brown curls, he sagged into relief. Sam tugged the girl towards him, and in that moment, joy radiated. The little girl dashed forward, arms wide open. "Daddy!" she shouted, and the reunion unfolded like a heartwarming scene from a movie. The father knelt, pulling her into a tight embrace. Tears sparkled in his eyes as he squeezed her as if afraid she'd disappear again. "I thought I lost you," he whispered, voice trembling. As they witnessed the family reunited, a gentle laughter rolled through the gathering crowd, the ripple of hope washing away fear. Sam turned, catching Mia's gaze, pride swelling in their hearts. They had come together, proving that kindness and connection could transcend even the most chaotic moments. "Thank you," the father said, eyes shining with gratitude. "I don't know how to repay you." Sam smiled softly, his heart full. "Just keep loving her," he replied. "That's all that matters." As the festival regained its vibrant energy, Sam felt Mr. Thompson watching from a distance, his expression shifting as he took the whole scene in. The father turned to Mr. Thompson, nodding gratefully toward him as if to recognize that sense of community they all shared. This was it, Sam realized. They weren't just rallying for a bakery, they were weaving light into the town, igniting connections that could last a lifetime. With renewed determination, Sam turned back to his friends, adrenaline still coursing through his veins. "We need to show everyone how much they matter, that this is the heart of Maplewood." "Well then let us do it!" Mia exclaimed, giving Sam a nudge. "This isn't the time to hide, it's the time to shine." Rushing back to the main tent, they re-engaged in the festival, their spirits ablaze with possibility. Each laugh, each joyous moment they encountered reignited that spark of community. Sam, Mia, Jennifer, and even Mr. Thompson found themselves calling out to people, sharing stories, laughter, and a new vision for the bakery. "Let us create a space," Sam shouted, his voice ringing above the jubilant crowd. "One where everyone feels at home, no matter what." The tense atmosphere melted, replaced by a buoyant excitement. The crowd responded with enthusiastic cheers, their willingness to gather igniting the flames of possibility. Amidst the laughter and camaraderie, Mr. Thompson stepped forward, his posture less rigid, more approachable. "All right, let us hear your ideas," he finally agreed, gesturing to Sam and his friends. "What's next for Maplewood Bakery?" Sam felt the wave of hope wash over him like autumn sunlight. They cast ideas out into the air, pairing them with the desires of the community. Little by little, they built a dream, a bakery that wasn't just about desserts but a gathering place. It burst with color, with warmth, with connections that spoke of family and belonging. As the sunset painted the sky in hues of crimson and gold, Sam looked around at the faces of the people who stood beside him. Together, they had turned doubt into possibility and fear into joy. They had found courage among chaos, laughter amid uncertainty, and strength in unity. In that moment, Sam realized something profound. True transformation happens when hearts come together, weaving the fabric of resilience, love, and community. The heart of Maplewood wouldn't just beat, it would thrive. And now, dear friends, you must take action. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you won't miss out on our next exclusive stories. This is the moment to show your support. Hit that like button now to feed the algorithm. I want to hear from you. Comment below and share your reactions and feelings about this inspiring ending. Don't wait not even 1 second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation. This is our time to grow together.